Hello. In my previous video, I talked about shifting my art and how I started in landscapes, and I was doing a lot of, really when I started with art, I started with charcoal and pencil, and I created a lot of realism photos, and then I moved eventually into acrylic painting where I did mostly landscapes, and I did that for years. And I've created a lot of pieces that I'm really proud of during that time, and a lot of commissions that went to some lovely homes. And I just, after years and years of making art like that, I just was not as inspired by it. I wasn't engaged with it. I wasn't as passionate about creating it. And it just kind of left me feeling like I was in a rut. And I had taken, the acrylic paintings and canvases I was creating, and I had moved them into digital illustration. And I did that for a couple years as well, and I loved it. The process was incredible. It was so refreshing to be able to do something and then take it back if you changed something you didn't like, and the access to colors and the flexibility of creating a piece in a digital platform was amazing, but didn't really resonate with me. I enjoyed it for the first little bit, but it wasn't something that made me feel overly creative or engaged with my art. And so I had to take a break and figure out a different way of getting my passion back. And so that really started with my monthly art challenges back in late 2024, early 2025. And so each month I would challenge myself to either a new subject or a new medium. And through that process, I created some really incredible pieces, some styles and techniques and subjects that I still work in today, just not primarily, as I move into this new collection. So I'd love to share with you some of those pieces that I created during that time. And a lot of them are really simple designs, and some of them are more complex, and some of them I love and do, and some of them I don't do anymore. But I will likely be taking the pieces I created during those times and redoing them in different ways. So adding them to, probably like this first one that I'm going to show you, I will probably start making some cards out of these designs for Christmas and for thank you and for happy birthday, so I can have some of my own cards on hand that I can give to people. So I'd love to show you some of those pieces that I created. They're just small sketches, and I started with markers and Sharpies, so outlines and colors, and I focused a lot in this series on shapes and starting with one primary shape and then building something around that. And so you'll notice a lot of circles and squares and rectangles. But yeah, here are some of those pieces. Some of them have turned out so cute. I really love them. Some of them I'm probably won't do anything with, but a lot of them were inspired by some, journeys that I've had, some lakes and some hikes that I've been on in the mountains, waterfalls that we've seen. But I'm really proud of these designs. It was a lot of fun to create. I did one a day for the whole month of January. And I think some of them turned out adorable. So they'll definitely be made into cards, a few of them. I really like how they turned out. I might do some small prints, but probably not. This isn't even really great paper that I did them on. But I've kept them all because I've turned back to them. I've gone back to them for ideas and inspiration. And that's really what the journey has been about, is finding that inspiration in art again. So yeah, this one was the very last one. It was the long one. Yeah, I'm super happy with how a lot of these turned out. Lots of fun. Here's some of the other ones that I really liked, like these circle ones. Some with like flowers in the center around trees. I like this one a lot. So yeah, so you'll likely see them up again. That one's really cute. I like that one a lot. And then after I did this one, I did fish. I'd been painting fish for a very long time. I had been doing pieces, a couple years before. Don't really know why I started painting fish. I just found them very fun to paint. The bright colors, the scales, the different textures. And so I did mixed media in the next one. So I used markers and ink and mostly acrylic painting to do these pieces. I absolutely loved doing them. They were so much fun, and I have a few of my bigger fish pieces available on my website currently, and I will probably do something of a bigger collage with these ones at some point. I really love how they've turned out. The colors are incredible and bright, and for some reason I'm oddly good at painting fish. So I will, yes, I just love how they turned out. So I'll probably put them into some groups, maybe freshwater versus saltwater, and do a larger collage of them. But this was such a fun study in color and texture for me. These are all about 5x7 or 6x4, so they're not super big pieces. But I really love them all. This one's probably my favorite. The blending, the color combos, the texture, they're just such a fun subject to paint. And these are done on really good, high quality watercolor paper. Oh, there's something on that one. And so they're artist quality. I will very likely make prints of some of these. Some of these I've done in a bigger size, which are already available on my website. You can check the link in my bio. These are just the last few. I actually love this one with the big eye. And the last two here. So if there's any of you that you like here, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I can always see about getting a print done for you. So the fish have stayed. I've done fish for a while now. I will continue to paint fish. I quite enjoy painting them. And they will stick around for now. The next big month that I did was all fruit. I had never really been painting food before. What you do a lot in art classes is paint pears and apples and different fruit shapes and still lifes, which are great studies to do because of such odd shapes that you get in fruit. And I just wanted to do a series where I painted mostly fruit. I really liked this one. It was lots of color, really bright. I did a close-up of them so I could get lots of detail included in there. And so these are some of them. Here are the bananas, my lemons. These ones I believe are plums. Some of them look so similar, mangoes. So some of these I love how they turned out. Here's some green apples. Some of them I'm not a huge fan of, but learned lots as I went. This one I love. This is my pomegranates. These ones are red apples, papaya, pear, cantaloupes, dragon fruit. So you can see there's just such an array of colors that you can do. Figs, coconut. So this is one of the only ones I didn't do close up, where I did with more background space. Coconuts are tough because they're mostly white. Lime, oranges, grapefruits. Oh, I love this one, the kiwis. And then strawberries and cherries and grapes. And I think I have a green grape one around here as well. So funny that when I painted all of these, I did them in realism. I wasn't too strict on myself. I focused more on the colors and how the colors were coming through, but the only fruit that I did paint with more of a cartoon look was the strawberries, and I didn't do any details on the stems. I'm not really sure why I chose to do that, but I absolutely love how this piece turned out, and I will likely be producing it in a larger piece. Really big fan of how this one is. And then for an entire month, I stepped outside of my comfort zone of painting, and I decided to give collage a try. And so some of these pieces are small and some are larger. Here are some of the larger pieces that I've put together for collage. This was a really fun challenge. I've never done anything in collage before, but I did really enjoy this. I just took some really old magazines I had lying around, and then I bought some with lots of photos that you could cut out or imagery that you could cut out. And I really I really enjoyed this process. I thought it was a ton of fun. I would definitely give it a try again. This one I just tried with blocked colors and more ripped pieces. This one I really like. And then I did some smaller pieces as well. There is a bit of a difference between this. I think the smaller compositions are just easier to work with. I love this one with all the birds. And so I'm thinking what I might do is turn some of these into some prints. I think they were a ton of fun. It was a really interesting process. And they're very unique pieces, right? Because I didn't draw them or paint them. I've just kind of put pieces together. I love how these ones have turned out. This one was all textures, but really interesting. This one I really like. So I'll probably turn these ones into, some prints maybe and sell those. What do you guys think? Let me know. But this is probably not the last time I'll be doing collage. I really, just like very interesting pieces. So right out of my comfort zone. I love how this worked out with the lines here. And the last one here. And then there's one more that I'd love to share with you guys. Here are some of my fruit pieces that I didn't get to share. These are the pineapples and then the watermelons, which I really love. And these are my blueberries. And these have become a staple. I've done so many paintings of blueberries already, and I've already done a commission on those as well. So this last one that I want to share is the challenge was to take the same subject and paint it in a variety of different ways and mediums. And this one was really fun, and this one was quite challenging. So here I took the subject of a person holding a boombox, standing in a pile of leaves, and I did them all very different from each other. So this was probably one of the first ones, and it was just different designs on each section. So each pant leg has a different design. The sweater, the background is solid. The shoes have different designs. I did other ones like more pop arty. Really first time doing something like that. Something with a more simple design. Something where it is all one design and the person comes through that design. Pencil crayon, which I hadn't worked with for a really long time, which was nice. The collage one, so a bunch of different cutout pieces. Just solid color with a pattern on the pants. This one was supposed to be like stained glass. That was interesting to do. I've never done something like that. These ones were all the block colors. But I love how all these turned out. Some like more funky design. This one is all circles, kind of hypnotizing. This one's supposed to be like graffiti. This one was just with markers. And then this one was just a different fun design. And I love all of these. This one was probably my favorite attempt at new things, was this challenge here, and I will probably take all of these and put them into their own large piece and then maybe sell that, or I'll sell these as prints because I really love how they turned out, or even make bigger versions. But I did try some other small things along the way, but these are the main monthly challenges that really kicked off my new approach to art, and I'm really excited to be sharing them with you. And if you think any of them are great and they should be turned into bigger pieces, please let me know. But yeah, so all to say that even if you're feeling stuck, there's lots of things that you can try and do to try to reignite that art spark and get more inspired to do pieces and try new things. But trying different mediums and different styles really helped me land on where I am now. And I'm so excited to share that collection with you guys when it's available.